So this Ralph Roberts, Rapid Ralph, that's me getting in the Lieutenant Colonel. The vehicle made famous over about 40 hours of local TV shows. I had a show on for a couple of years called Rapid Ralph Runs the Roads. And although I've been doing a lot of trip videos recently and putting them on YouTube because I enjoy doing them, I haven't been doing quite the production values I did when I had the TV show on. So I thought I'd do one with better audio and so forth. As I click on my GPS unit. Now during the show, my GPS unit was named Karen. I've since upgraded the GPS. This one's named Jill. We name them after the voices on them. So Jill's the latest version with the latest maps. And since for one of my companies that I own, I travel over 19 counties in western North Carolina, it's quite handy to have an updated GPS. This is in Asheville, North Carolina. I just left the Federal Express office. I had 5 packages to send out today. It's the Smoky Mountain Bridge, but we're going to go down and under the Smoky Mountain Bridge, which is where 240 goes over the French Broad River into Asheville. Currently also the artery for future 26, future I-26. So there's a lot of traffic on that bridge, a lot of accidents and so forth. We're hoping they get a new one built soon, but politics has got it kind of stalled right now. A little rough down through here because the city's not maintaining the streets like they used to in the past due to budgetary restraints and the like. Now this area we're going through now, when I was growing up, was the stockyards, and all the farmers came up here to sell their cattle into Hamburger. And lots of trading went on. Of course, all that is a thing of the past, unfortunately. And I'm not going to cross the river. I'm turning onto Emma Road and going up through the small town of Emma and up over Ben Lippin Mountain and down into the Irwin High School area where I live. Truck pulling a school bus past us. This is another rough road, not traveled as much as some of the other ways out into the western part of the county. I really have 3 ways I can go home from Asheville. Asheville, of course, is located in the mountains in the western part of North Carolina, the land of the sky, the Paris of the South, and all that stuff. Those of us out in the county, we don't care all that much sometimes for Asheville because it's aggressive trying to annex areas of the county and double our taxes, and we don't feel that's worth it. But luckily, and a shout out to Tim Moffitt here, state senator, we think the forced annexation law is going to be defined shortly, and that will be good. But anyway, back to the ways home. I have 3 ways home from Asheville. Go out New Lester Highway, go down the river on 251, or take Emma Road, which is sort of the middle way. And interestingly enough, all 3 ways are almost exactly the same distance and took about the same time. So I tend to vary the route just to keep from getting bored. And I thought you might like to ride along this time. And again, I'm doing this at back up to Rapid Ralph TV show standards. So it'll look a little bit better, although this is being shot when technology is marched on. This is being shot with newer technology stuff, albeit on the lower end of the spectrum and consumer stuff. And that I'm using a flip HD camera mounted in the back up near the back hatch. Which I won off of eBay for $80. It does a good job. And I'm recording the sound on my Droid 2 phone. although I'm using a small thumbtack microphone to get a little bit better quality audio. But it does a pretty good job also. However, I am editing it on a high-end editing system, Adobe CS5, so that makes a little bit of difference. Emma's not a large town, but it has a lot of history. Emma actually used to have its own airport, the Asheville Airpark, which was an 1,800-foot, at first rice field, and then it was paved because they were doing drag racing on it too back in the late 50s, early 60s era. It's closed now. I think it's a car junkyard or something up there on what used to be the runway. Asheville's had a number of airports. Also, it had Owens Field, which is not too far from where I am now, back along the river where the racetrack used to be, Amboy Racetrack, Asheville Speedway, which a lot of us lament the closing of in 1999 for reasons we do not totally agree with. I published, just to throw in a little commercial ad, published a nice book called The Day the Thunder Stopped by Dean Hensley, which we still have available at Alexander Books. Tells the whole story of that. So I'm going on up and getting close to Ben Lippin Mountain. We'll go over that. Not a huge mountain, but used to have a private school up there. Now it's been condoed like many of the heights around Asheville. Condoed mean they build a lot of condos and charge real high prices for them. How's that going these days, guys? There were reasons our ancestors, those of us who are local here, did not build on top of mountains. Reasons like snow and ice, lightning, etc. High winds. They built down in the valleys where there was a little bit of protection. My house that I lived in was, the original part of it was built in 1915. It's sited in a very good position for protection from weather. And this is approaching the gap, the area where we go over and start going down, which is happening just about now. Going down towards the Irwin High School area. I went to Irwin High School, graduated from there a number of years ago. 3 or 4 anyway, at least. It was real good. A real good time. And this road runs into Old County Home Road here in about a quarter of a mile or so. And we'll go up past Irwin High School. Well, what's now the middle school. When I was going there, it was a high school. And we're past the West Bunker Volunteer Fire Department. Shout out to those guys. They're always there when you need them. Thankfully, we don't need them very often, but whenever we do, no matter the weather or whatever, those guys come out and render assistance, both fire and the EMTs, emergency medical technicians, etc. Good job, guys. Thanks a lot. Out here in the county, we rely on the volunteer fire departments. We don't have the like this city services, and really don't need them. I mentioned that before. Please do not annex us. And we'll fight you in any way we can if you try it. So, forced annexation is really bad. North Carolina, I think, is one of 4 states in the nation that still allows it. And as I said, the legislature seems to be on the way to taking that risk away from us. Okay. Get ready to turn here on the Mount Carmel Road. A lot of the roads out in the western part of the county are named after biblical places. Mount Carmel, Macedonia that I live on, Olivet Road, etc. All dating from the 19th century when religion was more important than it is in general life today. The Irwin Middle School is over to the right here. And this is under 2 miles from my home. In fact, I've walked, when I was going to Irwin, I walked to Irwin. And as I say, it's under 2 miles. Of course, I tell people it was about 20 miles and uphill both ways, but and snowed even during the summer, but nobody believes that. Although I would not exaggerate. Not me, no. Oh, of course, I'm a writer. I exaggerate for a living. Anyway, going up and over the hill. And we'll be coming down and past Mount Carmel Baptist, and a lot of Baptists in this area, including me. There's Mount Carmel on the left, and another school bus. And there's a off over to the right, again you can't see it here, there's a big greenhouse operation, and another one over on Bear Creek Road, which is not too far from here. Oh, I might mention, the reason I'm shooting with the camera mounted where it is just an experiment. This is not a setup I ever intended for a trip video. I just playing around and see what it would look like, and I thought, because whenever I shoot video I like to share it, I thought I'd go ahead and make a show out of it. And I have. As we come to the red light here where Mount Carmel Road intersects with the old Lester Highway as opposed to the new Lester Highway, which I've mentioned before also. There's also an old Lester Road, and they all go to Lester. L-E-I-C-E-S-T-E-R. I'm going to stop here for some gas. Put $40 worth of gas in. It didn't do more than get the walls of the tank a little damp. Gas prices are high now. So I'm getting out and going in the store. But I will be back. I'm going to cut all the waiting part out since I left the camera running. There I go. And there's the transition. Now I'm getting back in the car after pumping that $40 worth of gas in, which didn't take very long. Start the car up again. Most of the trip videos I've been doing recently, I just turn the camera on and talk while I'm in the car, which is not very good at giving you a good voiceover, or coherent voiceover anyway. But this one, I'm actually sitting here in front of the editing screen watching the video as I turn on the old number 20 road from the store, the BP station at the corner of the old Lester Highway and old number 20. And I'm about a mile and a half or so from home now. But anyway, I'm sitting here talking and recording it on my Droid, as I mentioned earlier. I love my Droid. In fact, my Droid is making me money. I write computer books, among other things, and I'm working on a book now called Google App Inventor by Example. And Google App Inventor is a program Google Google. Try saying that real fast. Google puts out, which lets you program apps or applications for Droid phones. So I'm getting paid a pretty good amount of money to sit and play with my phone for most of the day. You know, life is good. I love doing stuff like that. And I'm still on old number 20, getting ready to turn. No, I'm on Jenkins Valley Road now. We just turned on Jenkins Valley Road. And it's 6/10 of a mile from where I turn on Jenkins Valley Road to where I turn on Macedonia Road. And that's where I live. I've ridden my bicycle through here many a time when I was a kid. Of course, these days, I don't care what all the people who ride bikes say. It's not safe to ride a bicycle on these roads. Not with the good old boys and the big diesel trucks, and they'll try hard not to hit you, but, you know, nobody's perfect. Anyway, we do have a lot of people who ride bicycles from out here. From Asheville out here, it seems to be one of the popular routes, but they never stop and talk. They're just not neighborly, as us mountain folk would say. Okay, turning right, that's Macedonia Baptist Church. My dad gave the land for that church many years ago, back in the 40s. And we're getting ready to turn right on into my driveway, or the driveway for the business. That's Alexander Bookshelf on the left. Y'all come and buy books. We're a books publisher, been in business for about 33 years now. Still going at it. So here I am. I'm home. Once more, I have wended my way from Asheville out here to Alexander, so I've come home from town. Towns are nice to visit, but I wouldn't want to live in one. And that's just the way it is, and I'm sticking to that story. So I think I'll turn off the car and get out and go actually do some more work. Thanks for riding along. This is Ralph Roberts, Rapid Ralph. Up here in the land of the sky, western North Carolina mountains. See you on the next trip. Bye now.